Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks so much for this special event we have today as part of MBS. I'm thrilled to have here on the stage the Governor of the State of Michigan, Governor Gretchen Whitmer. And to kick off today's announcement, I'd like to introduce Trevor Paul. He's our Chief Mobility Officer for the State of Michigan, Office of Future Mobility and Electrification. Trevor.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I said good morning, everybody. Good morning. All right. So it's awesome to be with you here today because we got some news to make. So now, as you know, in Michigan, we're proud to be the global mobility leader. It's a foundational part of our past, but it's also critical to our future, right? But to truly claim global mobility leadership, we got to focus on all aspects of transportation. Like innovations that go beyond those times when a vehicle is moving, which is actually, I just learned this, only about 5% of the time. What about the other 95%? So today, Michigan is going to stake its global claim as the leader in immobility. What do I mean by that? Well, we believe there's so much more that can be done with that other 95%. That time when a car is just sitting, parking or about to be parked. You know, the truth is, parking's a big, hairy, global problem, and there's just not enough solutions out there to solve it. In fact, finding parking in a city contributes to 30% of that city's emissions and congestion. That's not okay. That's not acceptable. So the state of Michigan, alongside our partners, Bosch, Bedrock, Ford, Enterprise Rent-A-Car, American Center for Mobility, we believe parking should be easier, should be safer, should be greener, should be more accessible. And the parking spot itself, it needs to be a little smarter. It needs to be a little more productive. So today, we're announcing a new public-private partnership to create the nation's first smart parking lab. The Detroit Smart Parking Lab will be a real-world test site that focuses on the future of parking. It's going to be located at Bedrock's Assembly Garage in Corktown, Detroit, actually right down the street from Ford's Michigan Central Station Innovation District. And it's going to open in September, so all those mobility pioneers, those real estate innovators, those paratransit leaders, those startups, they can test, deploy new technologies around parking, logistics, EV charging, all on site. And the American Center for Mobility is going to run it. They're going to manage the day-to-day operations as an extension of the work they're already doing at their Ypsilanti testing site. See, it's all coming together. The ecosystem's coming together, man. And on top of that, to drive solutions into the real world faster, the Michigan Office of Future Mobility and Electrification is actually going to provide grants to companies to deploy the technologies that are tested into the community. Look, I am sick of driving around. I know you are too. I am sick of driving around the block 5 times to find a parking spot. There's got to be a better way. Imagine a world where you could literally get out of your car and it can safely and efficiently park itself. Imagine a world where parking, the act of parking, actually relieves congestion, pollution, and anxiety. We're trying to create that world. And this is the team that's doing it. So I want to call you guys out if it's okay. You've done great work. So we have Paul Thomas, who's the Executive Vice President for Mobility Solutions at Bosch. We have Heather Wilberger, Chief Information Officer at Bedrock. We have Craig Stevens, Director of Controls and Automated Systems at Ford. And we have Chris Grayson, who's the Regional Vice President for Enterprise Rent-A-Car. And we have Ruben Sarkar, who's the CEO of the American Center for Mobility. And I also want to acknowledge Kevin Mull from Bosch. I want to acknowledge Catherine Snorrison from the Office of Future Mobility and Electrification. And I want to acknowledge Kate Gasparo from Bedrock. I mean, you guys have done amazing work here today, and you inspire me. Speaking of being inspired, I'm honored today to introduce someone who truly understands how transformative these technologies can be. It is my honor, ladies and gentlemen, to introduce the Governor of the great state of Michigan, Gretchen Whitmer.
Thank you. Thank you. It's always terrible to follow Trevor because he is the best hype man there is, and that's why he's doing such a phenomenal job for us when it comes to the advanced mobility and immobility, apparently, now. So thank you, Trevor. I know I can always count on you to get us off on the right start. And I want to thank the team at CAR for inviting me to speak with all of you today. We could have made this announcement down in Detroit, would have made sense, but we wanted to do it right here with all of you because I think it's really an exciting moment. I want to acknowledge Quentin Messer, who is the new head of the MEDC over here, so everyone knows who he is, and my friend Pawl, the guy I call the Fix the Damn Roads guy here in Michigan, the head of MDOT. Pawl is over here. We're working as a team sport because that's what it's going to take to continue our leadership and to be successful, to make sure that as we are building a stronger, safer economy, it's equitable and it's environmentally conscious, and I think that we are really on the precipice of some incredible change and innovation that's happening. So we've been very busy the last few years, building the future of roads with the first connected vehicle technology freeway work zone in the nation, and more than 600 miles of roadway equipped to connected vehicle testing. Today, we are upping our game with the nation's first smart parking lab right in the heart of Detroit, the city that put the world on wheels. We are once again leading this generation's transportation revolution. The Detroit Smart Parking Lab, hosted at Bedrock's Assembly Garage, will provide a physical environment and real-world use scenarios to test advanced technologies in parking, in logistics, and EV charging. And the lab will also expand parking scenarios beyond parking structures and is strategically located in historic Corktown neighborhood where Ford is developing a mobility innovation district anchored by the Michigan Central Station. Now, the applicability is beyond Detroit of the testing and the pilots that will take place at the Smart Parking Lab. It is made evident with Enterprise Holdings joining us today to announce their participation in this lab. Enterprise has more than 7,200 locations throughout the United States and globally. And the Smart Parking Lab in Detroit is where they will test automated valet parking technology from Bosch and electric vehicle charging technology that will be more seamless and efficient with rental car returns nationwide. And it's just one way where Michigan is continuing to lead the way in developing, testing, and deploying the future of transportation, including mobility and EV parking solutions. Innovative collaborations like the Detroit Smart Parking Lab are solving issues that will make transportation more accessible and affordable, while also creating an environment for technology and mobility-related companies to thrive and grow right here in Michigan. We have a global OEM, Ford, and the world's largest supplier, Bosch, working alongside major real estate company on smart parking solutions. And it's really an unusual, unique, and exciting approach that makes complete sense right in Detroit, which is the epicenter of an automotive and entrepreneurial ecosystem that is second to none. So collaboration has always been the hallmark of economic success here in Michigan. And at every level, the Smart Parking Lab is bringing innovative partners, Bosch, Ford, Bedrock, together to tackle issues holistically, while bringing one of our premier test beds in the state, the American Center for Mobility, on board to handle operations of the lab. And the state of Michigan is proud to be at the table, supporting this initiative through our Office of Mobility, Future Mobility and Electrification, and the Michigan Mobility Funding Platform, offering grants to mobility and electrification companies looking to deploy their technology right here in the solutions of the Detroit Smart Parking Lab. So, congratulations to every one of you. Thank you for being a part of this collaboration. And your teams, I know that it is a team effort truly within each of our organizations. We're just getting started with this Detroit Smart Parking Lab. Over the next few weeks and months, we will build on today's excitement and keep our momentum going when it comes to mobility and electrification initiatives all across our state and regionally. There will be additional announcements that we're excited to be making. But today's announcement is an important new asset in the ecosystem that we create as we're working toward an environment for technology and mobility-related companies to thrive and grow and to locate here in Michigan. It will help us continue our ongoing economic jumpstart. We've turned a projected $3 billion deficit here in Michigan to a $3.5 billion surplus. We have lower unemployment than the national average and the fastest GDP growth in the region. And we've gotten 2 credit rating upgrades in the midst of all the chaos of 2020. National publications and record keepers agree. We're number 1 for automotive manufacturing, according to Business Facilities. We're number 3 for sustainable development, according to Site Selection Magazine. And we've won Area Development's 2021 Golden Shovel Award for manufacturing. And we've been identified as the top state for foreign direct investment job growth by the Global Business Alliance. So no matter what size business you are, Michigan can help you accomplish your goals. Our access to talent, combined with affordable costs of living, and this incredible bounty of water that you have an opportunity to see here in Traverse City, gives us an advantage and an opportunity that no one else can compete with. I look forward to continuing our work together as we invest in small businesses and communities and people to power our economy to new highs. And with that, I thank you very much for giving us the ability to make this announcement right here in front of all of you, and I welcome our next speaker. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Governor Whitmer. I think that was a well thought out way to explain what we're doing here together today. I really feel it's an exciting day today as we roll out the Smart Parking Lab in Detroit. And we all know that when you look around us, we're in a very transformational phase in the automotive industry. And what's more important is the collaboration. What we're finding in Bosch is that we're collaborating with many different partners, as you can see by the people seated to the right of me. And this parking lab is just another example of how collaboration can enable success not only in our industry, but in the state we live in, Michigan. The lab is really an open innovation concept. It's a place for startups. It's a place for established companies. It's a place for automakers, suppliers, infrastructure providers, and even more importantly, people in the academic regions. It's a place for companies that might normally think of themselves as competitors to really work together and find solutions to make this challenge go away. This also is important that we work across many different boundaries. We have to build on each other's unique strengths, the opportunities that we have, and quite honestly, we accelerated through this program faster than I ever thought we could do to bring the innovations not only on a PowerPoint slide, but directly to the market. The hardest collaboration was getting to this point we are today. I want to thank the state of Michigan, Ford, and Bedrock as our founding sponsors to really make this idea a reality. And thank you to the American Center for Mobility for bringing its expertise from an operational standpoint to make sure we don't lose momentum as we begin bringing our first project on. Again, thanks to everybody. And while it's called the Detroit Smart Parking Lab, I do want to say that the possibilities go far beyond just parking. For example, last year with Ford and Bedrock, we showcased our concept for automated valet parking. And as described earlier, this was quite a pretty simple proof of concept, but took a lot of work where you basically park your car, get out, and it finds a spot on its own and will return to you exactly where you left it. Many people really love to drive, but as Trevor said, everyone hates to park. And with that, we're excited also to have a partner like Enterprise on our team, one of the largest mobility providers in the world. And with them involved, we hope to explore this technology like automated valet parking to bring operational efficiencies to a task we've all dealt with, returning your car either to a rental zone or to a drop-off spot and not having to wait for an attendant, but also making sure that that car is delivered back to the next driver in perfect shape, fully charged, and ready to go. Beyond parking, the lab also offered opportunities in parking-inspired logistics scenarios. If you think about the recent surge in online ordering and delivery addresses, we can also work with better curbside delivery, looking for certain aspects of delivering products to certain parts of a mall, a street, or even an industrial complex. So to me, I think it, like we said, we want to make sure this isn't just a parking lab, but really focuses on how to take care of that. And the key for all of this, quite openly, is the infrastructure interface. As one of the largest property owners in the city of Detroit, having Bedrock on board to highlight the critical role not only of the vehicle, not only of the people, but of the infrastructure is extremely important. And having them involved is a real differentiator. Now I'd like to hand it over to Heather Wilberger, the CIO of Bedrock, to talk more about the importance of the infrastructure in the future of mobility.
Bedrock is thrilled to join Bosch, Ford, and the state of Michigan as we announce the newest collaboration, the Detroit Smart Parking Lab. It makes perfect sense that the nation's first smart parking lab would be conceived in Detroit, the birthplace of the automotive revolution. Detroit has been known as the Motor City for generations, but new technology, innovation, and facilities such as the Detroit Smart Parking Lab are ushering in a new era for the industry, the city, and the region. It emphasizes what can be accomplished when auto aligns with real estate, technology, and government. So why is a real estate company putting its support behind new mobility technology? For Bedrock, one of our driving goals is to be good urbanists and further attract new talent, experiences, and companies to Detroit. That goes far beyond simply creating activated streetscapes and keeping our buildings occupied and maintained. We have a responsibility to help make our city greener, more sustainable, and more accessible. That's where mobility plays a major role in the real estate industry. If we can develop smarter, quicker, and more efficient parking solutions, we can help to reduce vehicle traffic, emissions, and provide innovative parking experiences that allow our city's residents and guests to choose how, when, and where to engage. Creating a more seamless parking experience not only benefits the individual, but provides additional amenities that make it easier for businesses to locate and expand to Detroit. Thanks so much to Bosch, Ford, Enterprise, American Center for Mobility, and Governor Whitmer for their support in making this happen. The rest of the world is paying attention, and collaborations like the Detroit Smart Parking Lab will continue to position Detroit as the innovation hub of the Midwest and a leader in smart city development. Thank you.
So that's it. That's the announcement. And it's super cool. So I hope you all check it out. For more information, please visit the American Center for Mobility's website. And our team's actually going to be around most of the day if you have any questions. Before we depart, we wanted to get a group photo with the governor. And I want to call back Carla to the stage. So thank you again, everybody.